Looking back at the Palme d'Or winner, the Iranian dissident Jafar Panahi, and his film It Was Just an Accident. David, he's not a household name, but he's a very revered director. Tell us, for people who don't know anything at all about him, what's his background?
Well, as you said, It Was Just an Accident won the Palme d'Or, and it's the first film since 1997 to do so, and at the time it was Taste of Cherry by Abbas Kiarostami. And Jafar Panahi is one of Iran's just greatest filmmaker, alongside the likes of Mohammad Rasulov, for instance. And he is somebody who has clashed with the repressive Iranian authorities for many, many years now. He was placed under house arrest, arrested for endangering national security, and banned from travel. And in 2022, he was imprisoned for supporting his fellow filmmaker, Mohammad Rasulov, and later went on a hunger strike and was released a year later. And It Was Just an Accident is his first film since then.
David, you've had the chance to see the film. Tell us what's it about.
It tells the story of a family, a father, a mother and their daughter, who are in a car who accidentally run over a dog. And the car breaks down and fortuitously breaks down in front of a shop where one person there offers to help out. And another person there, Vahid, seems to have a very visceral reaction to the father coming into the shop. And he recognizes a noise which seems to come from the father's prosthetic leg. And he believes that this is the man who is an intelligence officer, or who was an intelligence officer, who previously tortured him. And because of this uncertainty, but this very visceral reaction he kidnaps the father and plans to bury him alive. But because of the protestations from the father figure, the seeds of doubt are sown. So what he does is goes off and seeks help and advice from other victims of this potential monster. People like a photographer, a bride-to-be and her husband, and this live wire of a man who is the only one who can positively identify the potential torturer, because he has seen him without being blindfolded, like the others were. Therefore, the doubt. And essentially, it's a film about the price of revenge, whether you should use violence to combat violence, what it does to your own humanity, how you can escape the trauma that has been inflicted, and whether that's at all possible. And it is, like I said, a taut, a gripping film, utterly engrossing, and one that surprised me in the sense that it's actually very humorous. There's some slapstick elements to this, and it is something which is rather remarkable in the sense that it talks about these very powerful things, these very dark things, but at the same time does so in a way that recalls Waiting for Godot, which is mentioned in the film, but also as if Waiting for Godot was spliced with Weekend at Bernie's. And I'll say one more thing without spoiling the film at all. Not only is it a very richly deserved Palme, but the ending left my jaw on the floor. It's one of those moments, it's a very simply filmed scene and uses sound to a devastating effect. And it is almost like a horror film.